GoonSwarm. Cue the goons. Good afternoon. Okay. Excellent. I was originally going to give this presentation with like some really cool notes and whatnot, but I went back to my hotel room to get changed and seemed to have passed out. So we're just going to go with what we have. Cartoon originally begged me to take this presentation. I'm not much of a presentation guy per se. I wasn't really looking forward to it. I wasn't like, hey, yay, presentation. But he came to the conclusion that if he didn't get somebody to do it, the Matani was going to do it. And there was already a round table for long-winded, pseudo-intelligent douchebags. So he came to me and he said, Darius, I would like you to give this presentation, but there's one caveat. I want you to look really classy. So this is what I have. By the way, do you have any idea how hard it is to find clothes for short, fat people? It is not easy. I'm going to hit next and hope that it comes up. Goons! What is a goon? I found this description in a Google search, hoping to get outside opinion. Goons are apparently a bunch of uncouth, savage, crass, foul-mouthed, vulgar, immature, racist, epithet-uttering ogres who can't seem to say one sentence or make a single joke without using the worst of the worst profanity. Or referring to some body function, fluid, or body part, and then giggling like a 10-year-old. Guilty as charged. There's actually only about 20 people in GoonSwarm. This is what we consider the standard director computer setup. This is actually not a mock-up. This is a very real representation of a desktop. We've rigged that mouse and keyboard through some magic box to all 20 of those screens. We have instructions for how to set up your overview so that you're not like clicking or, oh God, I clicked in the wrong place. And you know, between the 20 of us, we managed to get, 100-man fleets and whatnot. I'm hoping someday we'll be able to actually do something with that. But in the meantime, we have really cool desktops. This is a map of where we live. I was hoping also, before I actually passed out in my hotel room, to have a laser pointer so I can point at things. That didn't occur, but if you look down in the lower left, there's an interesting GoonSwarm symbol with a hand grenade. That's where we live, and the rest of the blue and gray are people who are not necessarily killing. People in red are people who we are. Going to stick to the format. This is the wonderful map from before 9/9 was invaded, actually going back about 2 years ago. A lot's changed since then. A particular alliance in the lower left-hand corner, who at the time was called Band of Brothers, decided they were going to attack us and take over some stuff in the lower right. And then something beautiful happened, which is what we get here. Some of you may be familiar with this gentleman. Boom! Headshot, he says. This is a map of Delve. I don't think I'm going to wait long enough for it to load all the way up. But this is actually an interactive map of Delve going down there's day one. Oops. Yeah, somebody lost their stuff. Going down from the day of the invasion until it's finished. I'm going to go ahead and talk over it. At the end, what you'll find is that despite this advantage that somebody was already there. The real advantage was South 4. We don't like South 4, so we kind of said, hey, maybe we should level the playing field a little bit, and then South 4 magically disappeared. So there was just that pesky thing of dealing with 530 passes that we had to deal with. So of course, like everybody likes to say, it's all about one dude pushing a button. That's the only reason we won anything with those 520 towers. Really, they self-destructed before we got there. This is a picture of our. When you manage an alliance of 20 people, you sometimes need external applications to kind of help make things happen. Because as awesome as he is, it doesn't necessarily have the corporate management capability that scales to 20. So what we've had to do is create external applications to deal with things like reinforced passes and whatnot. And this is a screenshot from our pass management app during the Delve campaign. What we used to do is just kind of highlight them and say, okay, kill this, leave this one alone, because you kind of have to pick and choose your battles. In this particular case, we were like, fuck it. Kill everything. This is what the map currently looks like. Which is part of why we invited the CSM and everything else, kind of said, hey, 0-0 could really use looking at, because there's not a lot left for us to shoot at. Goons aren't really fond of these fancy maps. They really, there's a lot of information here, so we use our own. This is what the map looked like prior to the Delve invasion. And nowadays it's a little different, so I've had an artist go back and redraw the map. It's a lot better now. This is we don't really like to get into, we have Titans. Everybody has Titans. We don't really like to use them for, stuff like blowing people up and whatnot. This is actually a Bob Pass in 49 Dash. We decided if you're going to put a Pass there and try and be cool, we're just going to put 27 Titans in front of it and build a giant Congo line. Because what else are you going to do with them? Blow stuff up? Jihad Swarm. This gentleman is a follower of the Prophet cartoon. He has with him his beautiful Jihad Swarm Bible and his avatar. The Jihad Swarm has been quite active recently in LoSec. I believe we took down a rather troublesome and meddlesome corporation called New Eden Research, who was doing all manner of nasty things. And we've started kind of clearing out LoSec systems, but the point being that if you have a pause and you're not in 0-0, this guy's probably looking at you somewhere. Sorry. Obligatory fart noise. Abstract. We have, go ahead and watch this and just kind of listen to me as it goes. Internally in GoonSwarm, we have different squads that we break everybody up into to make things more manageable. The downside of goons is that we can't have something nice without killing each other. So this was Epsilon Squad creating an interesting presentation based on their hatred of Row Squad, which got ugly. It blow them up, set a course for weed. What else are you going to do? This is an interesting piece of propaganda I came across the other day. There's a lot that's